Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Employee Baltimore Show. It is April 5th, 2022. I'm your host today, Jimmy Smith, and welcome. I'm glad you tuned in for us to help you with employment and training needs. And today, I'm going to cover a topic that'll help you out with your networking and helping you find new jobs. LinkedIn. So I want to give a special shout out to my producer today, Katanya Lester, for making me look and sound good. Thank you, Ms. Lester. And so we'll just go ahead and get started. I've got a presentation for you today. If you've got any questions along the way, you can enter it in the chat and we'll try to answer it as we go. And if you need any help, you can always go to our job board for jobs. It's moed.baltimorecity.gov. That's going to scroll at the bottom throughout this presentation. You can also call one of our centers, whatever one is to you, and we can help you with your needs. So let's get into it. A little about LinkedIn. I'm just going to cover the basics because this is a pretty robust topic. And I don't want to bore you to tears. I'm just going to cover the finer things that you're going to need to get started. So let's take a look. Before I get too much into LinkedIn, I want to tell you, like I mentioned before, our career centers, if you don't know, are back open 100% to the public. Most of the facilities that we have will require you to go through a health screening just to make sure that your temperature is fine and that you aren't potentially ill. Other than that, it's open to the public. We're having recruitments. There's a recruitment tomorrow at the Eastside Career Center in healthcare. There's one at the Northwest Career Center for Giant Foods. We're back to operating as normal. As normal, our jobs are posted on the Maryland Workforce Exchange. It's mwejobs.maryland.gov. And this is a screenshot of our now hiring job board where we list a lot of the jobs where we have employers that are looking to hire right now. And we called it our COVID-19 job board, but it continues even though COVID-19 is hopefully going away. So let's talk a little about LinkedIn anyway. What is it? And so it's like a social network, just like Facebook or Twitter or all those other types of places, but it's different. And it's basically focused mainly on career development. Whereas on Facebook, my stepsister takes a screenshot of every meal before she eats it. This is actually tangible. This will help you. This is some real stuff here, okay? There are 660 million members on LinkedIn. And what they say is that 2 new users join every second. So one of my favorite things to say in this job is getting hired is not what you know, it's who you know. And how do you get to know more people, or how do you get to know who's working at Hopkins, or just to get connected with people? And LinkedIn is your way to do that. So you can display your resume, you can search for jobs, you can join professional network groups, and those are the best ways to get referred to job opportunities. So they have a desktop version for your computer. You can access it from your phone. There's all kinds of ways that you can experience LinkedIn. And so what's in it for you? Why should you use LinkedIn? And so I'm telling you, you gain exposure to hiring managers and recruiters. 93% of recruiters use it to search for and find candidates. That's what LinkedIn is for. Every recruiter that I know has a robust profile on there, and they go there first to find people. So if you want to be found, you want to be where they're looking. You can demonstrate your knowledge, credibility, and leadership experience. You can use it to search as a search tool, and you can have people recommend you, which is pretty good. So again, word of mouth is so important, especially today. Uh, what someone else said or how someone else rates something is important to how other people engage with it. And so this is great because you can have people who you've worked with in the past go in and give you a rating and tell them about the experience that you had with them. And again, it's just a great tool. Um, so one of the things that I like LinkedIn for is that you can follow companies that you're interested in. Say you want to work at Hopkins, you can follow them. You can keep an eye on the things that they're doing. So if they're having a recruitment, if they are having a mass hiring, mass firing, anything that could be going on with the company, you want to be aware of. And so following them on LinkedIn is great because they're going to distribute information that's specific to hiring and career development. So that's a great way to get in the know of a company. Again, like I said, you can join LinkedIn groups. Let's say you're a welder and you're looking for welding opportunities. You could join a welders group in Baltimore and people share information. Hey, my company's hiring. Hey, my company's hiring. And again, like I mentioned before, getting hired is not what you know, it's who you know. And so the whole premise of LinkedIn is to try to connect. That's what you want to do. Connect to as many people as possible so that way you can help build your brand and promote yourself. Okay, so how do I get started? It's very easy. Obviously, the website is www.linkedin.com. It's a free site. You go on, you just fill out information, you create a profile, you upload your resume. Just like all of these other sites, they'll go through your telephone book or your address book, I'm sorry, from your email and try to already connect you. Hey, did you know John's on? Did you know Jill's on? And it'll automatically connect you to those people. And then it'll refer things to you. So joining a group and searching for job opportunities, all those things are the next step after you get started. And the wizard is very easy. On this page is a yellow button that says join. You just hit that button and it walks you through. It's very, very painless. Just going to show you a little quick synopsis of what the profile page looks like, just so that you get an idea of the information that is disseminated and what it looks like. And so this is just a generic page that I found. Uh, some of the things that I find important is if you see, it'll tell you who's been looking at your profile. Again, if you're interested in Hopkins and maybe you sent your information to them and then you realize that they viewed your profile, that's important. These are things that you want to know. Who's looking at you and then who's not, right? I want people to look at me, so I need to do things to get people to look at me. There's a space there where you'll get email notifications. It'll tell you how many people you're connected to, specific things that's happening with those people, notifications. It'll show up on this page as well. And that's the basis of it. Again, you can put as much or as little information as you can. What I would tell you is that the more robust you can make this page, the better, because HR people want to get to know you, and that's what this is. This is not about, oh, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information. You're supposed to put all of your career-based information in there, and career-based being the key term there. Don't tell people how many kids you have. This is not the place for that. This is specifically your career information, what you've done job related or training wise to help you and promote yourself moving forward. So these are just some of the things that are on the profile page, your professional photo and heading. And I mentioned professional photo because you want to take a picture just for your LinkedIn profile. You don't want to crop out a picture of you from the club and then stick it in there. You want to take a specific photo that's professional and that you would want to have to a recruiter. It's a little summary of yourself. You can list your experiences. Again, if someone recommends you, hey, Jimmy makes the best resumes in West Baltimore, or whatever the case may be, people can put in a recommendation about you. Any skills and endorsements, your certifications and your education, any organizations that you take part in, additional information such as volunteering or causes that you stand for, uh, groups that you're affiliated with, and people that you're following. And so that's all that you'll see on your profile when you go in. It's a nice little snapshot. So again, I'm just going to go through some of the finer points about each of these options. And then I mentioned before with the photo, you want it to be professional. Um, if you have a photo in a professional photo specifically, your profile is 11 times more likely to be seen. That is tremendous. Okay. So don't say, oh, I'll get back to it, or nobody needs to know what I look like. It's important. So what you need to do is take a professional photo and upload it. Your heading, who you are, what you stand for, what you do, your job title or your tagline, and then a summary. You need to tell your story. Again, this is a place for someone to get to know you because they want to bring you into their culture. So tell them who you are. Jimmy is a great advocate for justice involved, and whatever things that you might want to say or have people know about you, you want to put a summary in. The next thing, probably the most important thing, is experience. And they say that job seekers, job seekers, people out there in the job market, have what we call between 4 and 7 job lives. And too often we try to be too many people simultaneously. And what ends up happening is we end up being nothing. So you want to focus on your career highlights, accomplishments, and awards. Uh, if you are one of those people that have between 4 and 7 job lives, be careful that you don't try to be all 4 or all 7 simultaneously. You might want to change your profile depending on what job you're looking for, who you're courting. Hey, I'm trying to get at Hopkins. I'm not going to mention my work as making video games. I mention my healthcare work because that's going to be more in line with the jobs that I'm looking for right now. And all these things, because this is technology and it's the internet, you can change it like that. Don't get married to it. Don't make a profile and then stick with it and be stuck there forever for years. Go in and change it, update it depending on what job you're looking for and what you're trying to do. Uh, that's the what I tell people. That's the most important or the most efficient way to job search today. Recommendations. So they help you build credibility. Somebody wants to get someone else's word that what you said is true, and that a lot of people like that. So what you want to do is you want to get people to recommend you. And my recommendation for getting people to give you a recommendation is to write it for them. Write most of it and send it to them, and just get them to sign off on it or tweak it. A lot of times you might ask someone to do it and they say, oh, okay. People have busy lives and it falls down the line of things that they have time to do. So if you can pre-write it for them and send it to them, where they just have to tweak it or add a little sentence here or there, or say, yeah, this is good, this is what I would say, that'll help you out tremendously. All right. And it also kind of helps you control the message. That the message that you want to say is, like, I want to say that Jimmy is a nice guy. Then when I pre-write this for my colleague to recommend me, I'm gonna make sure I mention how nice. If I just ask them to write a recommendation, they might say, "Oh, Jimmy's a good guy, and Jimmy makes great resumes." I'm trying to build a brand of being nice. So if I write the recommendation ahead of time and send it to them for them to bless it and make sure everything is fine, I can kind of code it in the messaging that I'm looking to use to brand myself, if that makes sense. So it's great for you to write recommendations. I don't care what it is. If you need a letter, if they're doing this digitally on LinkedIn, it's always better to kind of pre-write it so you can control the message that you're trying to send. Skills and endorsements. The LinkedIn skills section is very robust. You can spend a good hour just on your skills, what you can do, to what degree, and then getting someone to endorse them. And so this screen here, it's just like a screenshot, but it talks about the different skills and endorsements that people have. And so the top skill has little screenshots of the people that endorse that person for those things. It's good to have. It's good to have someone back up. I can say I'm as nice as can be, but who's going to believe that? But I have 50 people who back me up and say Jimmy's very nice. Now my message is a little bit more believable. So again, if you can control the branding, control the messaging that your endorsements are sending or your endorsers are sending, it will help you round out the person that you're trying to be. Just as a FYI, profiles that list skills get 13 times more views. Again, these people, HR types, they want to know what you can do and what degree. If they leave your LinkedIn page and they don't know you or they're still trying to figure you out, then you did a poor job of setting up your profile. When they leave here, they should have a concrete idea of who Jimmy Smith is when I finish this and I do it the right way. Let's look at the next slide. Certificates, your education, your organizations, your projects, your languages, all these things are just like tertiary parts of your profile, but are very important because, again, the general public may not care about this stuff, but HR types, they want to see. And they want to see that you fill this out. Do you fill out this profile to completion or do you just do just what's necessary and move on? Fill it out to completion. Make it robust. Give people information to chew on, to learn about you, to know what you do. What fraternity and sorority do you belong to? Uh, what organizations do you believe in or you support? Those are things that are very, very important. For those of you who are in fraternities and sororities, you know the power of that. Uh, my wife is in a sorority, and all she has to do is just mention the colors, and people pop up, and it's who you know. That's just life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And the best way that you can connect with someone, the better your chances are of getting connected with that company or organization. Groups. So they're just like organization, except for groups are uh, don't really have a purpose. They're just people who congregate who have a similar interest. And then within that group, who knows what? You could share job leads and you can talk about the industry, and you could talk about all kinds of things. So groups are different than organizations. An organization has a mindset, a goal, a mission statement, something that they're trying to accomplish. A group is just a people that are together that are similar ilk in some way. And so it's a great way for you to build uh, your web or your network of individuals. And again, if you're looking for work and you belong to a group, you tell the group, hey, I'm a welder, I'm looking for welding work. And you will be shocked of the leads that come through from people that you know or don't know, but they're in your group. So let's go through some of the best practices again with LinkedIn and setting up your profile. The first thing is upload or update your photo. Don't get married to putting this information up. I have a LinkedIn account. Don't let it sit there for 4 or 5 years and not touch it. Update it. Put a new photo in. You should have a photo. You get 11 times more exposure with a photo. So, and fill out your profile to its entirety. Make sure you use keywords in your title and throughout the profile. Add credentials to your brand. So, I'm talking about being nice. I want to use nice. I want to use nice as many times as possible. I want people to recommend me using the word nice. I want my brand to be nice. So understand that this is your online branding stage. And so think about what you want to be known for: competency, speed, efficiency, know how, expertise, whatever it is you're trying to build that brand and wrap everything around that supports that brand. And you can do that with the groups and the recommendations and all of the things that you say about yourself. It's specifically your summary. So you're going to write your summary so it's personal and compelling. Read other people's profiles. That's the best way to learn. Like, oh, that's pretty good. I need to use something like that. A lot of times we just do what we know. Expand your knowledge. Read what other people are doing and take little bits and pieces from what they're doing to make what you do better. Update your skills and endorsements section with up to 50 areas of expertise. I told you it's very robust. You can put 50 different skills in there. So don't shortchange it. If you can type, put it in there. If you're good with Microsoft Office, put it in there. Don't shortchange yourself at all because you just never know what an employer is looking for. You might have just that right mix of skills they're looking for. You're going to include your relevant work experience in your experience section. And I say relevant work. Let's say I have I'm trying to build this profile of nice Jimmy and I do sales. I can talk about other work that I've done, but I need to remember that I'm trying to sell myself in a sales fashion. So I can talk about when I worked at Walmart because that's customer service, but I might also talk about how I help people buy more products and I promoted things because that's sales pitchy, right? And I want to include that. So you always want to list every job that you have, but always list it through the scope of who you're trying to be. So in a sales instance, you want to talk about customer service and sales and those types of things, cash handling. So you want to talk about relevant things that you've done, and also relevant coursework. If you've taken specific sales courses, that's something that you might want to list. If you're trying to create a sales profile and you have a forklift certification, I'm not sure that fits, right? Could you put it? Sure, you could put it, but is that relevant? Probably not relevant to sales. So you be careful as you build these profiles that you build a profile that is exactly who you're trying to build. And don't let HR people get confused with who you are because you've got 4 to 7 different job lives you're trying to be simultaneously. Always attach your resume. If you need help with your resume, seek one of us at one of the local American Job Centers. There's the Northwest Career Center at Mondawmin Mall. There's the Eastside Career Center on Madison Street. There's the Employment Connection Center down on Bush Street in South Baltimore. We've got job hubs. You can go to our site, uh, oedworks.com, and you can see where there's a local job hub or a career center or someplace where someone can help you to craft a resume. You want to get recommendations from your colleagues or professors or people that you've worked with in the past. You want to request connections with a goal of at least 50. If you're not connected to people, you're missing the whole point of LinkedIn. So get on there and try to connect with at least 50 people. You'd be shocked how fast that happens. Uh, and then you want to keep doing it, keep growing your profile, expand it. Get your profile complete to 100%, and you want to constantly update it. And you want to double check for any errors or typos. Compare yours to other people's. Have someone read yours, proofread it. Ask someone to read it and then say, "Who am I?" See if they can figure out how you're trying to brand yourself and if you did a good job with that. So that's just a small smattering of the things that you can do uh, with LinkedIn, some of the best practices. I think we've got a couple more things to look at. Oh, nope, we didn't. Oh, great. That's even better. So none of the questions popped up. So again, if you have questions, seek us at one of our job centers. We're open to the public. You just have to do a health screening when you come in. We take your temperature. Come in, someone will help you find a job, update your resume, get into training, and we're here to help you with that. So, with that, thanks for joining me today on the Employee Baltimore Show. I hope to see everybody's LinkedIn profiles. And again, if you need help with that, if you need computers to do that on, come to our centers. We're open to the public and we're here to serve you. So, with that, have a good day and we'll see you next week. Thanks.